What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Millennial in Debt money chat. This one is going to be specifically for my teachers, although if you are not a teacher, you can still find a lot of these side hustles super useful and things that you definitely, absolutely 100% can sign into to make some extra coin, make some extra buck, and go about being financially free, because isn't that what life is all about? All right, so please excuse my glasses and hat. My face is currently breaking out and I didn't want to put on makeup, and I also didn't want to be ugly on the internet for years to come. So this is the best we could do. Let's jump right into these side hustles though, shall we? So the first thing is obviously going to be tutoring. Teachers can make buku bucks tutoring. Now, I don't particularly always have time to go out and tutor. Wisant, and I think Tutor Me is the other one, but I'll link everything below as per usual. Wisant I used to do in my earlier years of teaching, and I would charge about 60 bucks an hour to tutor. I would tutor about 4 or 5 hours a week. That was when I had a little more time on my hands. Now, you set your own prices. You usually want to be between the $30 and $60 area. You can charge more, but then you'll get lesser clients. At least that's my experience of what I've seen when I used it. Wisant does have this new opportunity where you can tutor digitally. So again, if you don't have time to go out and tutor in face-to-face like the normal traditional way, then you can absolutely sign on to Wisant and do digital tutoring. Now, the next thing, which is also something that's very overly suggested, but like I said, we're going to do the regular stuff in the beginning and get down to the deep money-making information towards the end. The second thing is teaching English as a second language online. The big company that everyone seems to know is VIP Kids. I have personally never used VIP Kids, but you can make $14 to $21 an hour depending on your experience, and you set your own hours. I do believe, and I could be wrong, but you can go like Google and go to so many different YouTube videos about this content that you do have to have a minimum of 12 to 15 hours per week. I'm not sure if that's the case, but like I said, Google and do your research before you sign up and kind of sell your soul to online teaching. All right, now on to more non-traditional methods of ways of making money, and that is to create a course. Now, you can create a course in anything you're really good at, but because you are a teacher, it's probably going to be more profitable for you to create courses in things that you know or that you actually teach in cool, creative ways that kind of help your students figure things out, or if you like really make creative lessons in units, you want to turn them into bite-sized digital little lessons that you can either upload on YouTube if you want to start a YouTube channel. You can use Udemy. I think I'm saying that right. Udemy, or Udemy, whatever. I'll link it. They're really helpful because they help you set up the platform where you set up your courses and different things you want to teach. They also help promote you, but they do take a commission. Same thing with Teachable, which I am currently using to build courses for y'all that y'all been asking for in my DMs. I don't know, I've let you down, but Teachable also does the same thing. They skim a little bit off the top because, you know, they are creating your course, essentially making it beautiful for you. So they take commission to take some money away from what you would make, but it's better than nothing. And courses are great sources of passive income as well. So once you set it up and get the ball moving, you don't really have to do anything else after you've done the front heavy lifting, which is why I love that concept. The next side hustle, I was drawing a blank, is ride sharing. Now, I tried ride sharing one time over the summer. I didn't really talk about it or tell a lot of people about it because it's like, I felt a little weird about it. It is a definite quick way to make cash, and it is a definite way to have side hustle money. But it's not as passive as I would like. I'm all about passive income, and I will link the video up above about passive income ideas that you can do, where I don't particularly want to be doing too much of the work. But if you have more time and if you have a vehicle, you definitely can sign up to do things like Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, Seamless, Postmates, Instacart. All of those things are always looking for drivers year-round. You can make some good coin. It doesn't always have to be interacting with like people in your vehicle. You can do the food options. So like Uber Eats, or like I said, Postmates, where you're picking up something, a meal, and dropping it off to someone. I did Postmates. Like I said, I did one thing. I picked up an order from Subway and dropped it off to someone, and it was fine. And I made like $6, which was cool for like a 10-minute drive, but I don't know. I just feel funny about it. So maybe I'll try it again in 2020. I don't know. I guess it depends. But the next side hustle that my teachers can do when they want to make some extra coin or during the summer or whatever, that is freelance writing. Especially for me as an English teacher and just teachers in general, always reading, writing, correcting papers. Freelance writing is a dope way to make about $50 an hour. Writing about different topics, writing about things you know, writing about things you're interested in, things you can research, and it could be on a plethora of different topics. The best thing to do for freelance writing or when you're trying to get into freelance writing is to start off on Upwork. Upwork does take a small, tiny commission as well. You know, these companies, they got to make money too. So if you charge $50 for, like, let's say a post that you write about something, you would make about $40 or $34. It depends on the percentage they're taking. They're always changing their minds. But Upwork is a really great way for you to kind of get into the freelance writing business as you build your own clientele. Maybe you want to build a social media following and make your coin that way. Doing something you already pretty much do for your career. Doing something you already pretty much kind of like. So why not? The next side hustle is something that I love and that I live by and that I do all the time because you always see me on Instagram posting my late night lesson planning. I sell my lessons and my units to teachers pay teachers. Ain't no shame in my game. I write really phenomenal lessons. I write really creative units. I make really dope PowerPoints that are interactive and engaging. I bring in a lot of modern day things that are relevant and rigorous. And I'm not tooting my own horn because I am a highly rated, highly effective teacher. Who do I think I am? But I do take the time to kind of formulate a generic version of whatever it is I'm using in my classroom so that other teachers can also use it and students can benefit and I make a little extra coin. So why not? So teachers pay teachers. I will link it below. I'll also link directly to my store if you want to see just like what I have posted, what I do in my class. And yeah, that is a really awesome, quick way to make some bread. The next side hustle that I wanted to dive into is curriculum development. This is going to be a little minor specific to teachers in New York because I don't know a lot about how other schools do it. But curriculum development is really big, especially in New York, and I'm sure in other big cities like Dallas and LA and DC and Philly, right? Because we're always changing standards. So New York is going from the Common Core standards to the next generation standards, and curriculum has to be developed. Exams have to be altered, regions are being changed, all these things are being done. And we, the teachers in the classroom, we have hands-on experience on what students need, what works, what doesn't work, and we know how to shift all these things. We go to tons of PDs, so why not? So curriculum development, you want to talk to your district. Through New York, we get a lot of per session opportunities. So per session is pretty much our overtime, so it's anything outside of our contractual time in the classroom. So everything extra or anything over is per session. So there are tons of per session opportunities for curriculum development where you actually get to sit down. And I love writing curriculum. I wrote the curriculum for my English department for this current school year. I wrote it last year. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of knowledge. But it can be really fun. And it's definitely rewarding and fulfilling because seeing other teachers and students enjoy something that I put together that I feel like is really going to be beneficial to their education is dope. And then to be able to get paid for that on top of that, extra dope. So if you haven't looked into curriculum development and you are a teacher, I suggest you do go into your district or your per session or overtime opportunities to see, what they're offering. Another thing for my New York teachers specifically, especially the per session route, you also want to look into grading state exams. Very similar to, I think, how College Board does AP exam grading. New York does per session opportunity where they kind of distribute, or it's called distributed scoring, where teachers from all over the city come together after school and on the weekends to grade the state exams in order to get the grades back in time for the end of the semester or the end of the school year. And it pays pretty well depending on the time period. So the winter is usually like 12 to 15 hours of overtime. Summer, it can get to like 40 hours if it's really a lot of tests and not enough teachers to grade. So those are really amazing overtime opportunities that you can make on top of your salary check. So my New York teachers and my international domestic teachers, whatever, look into those overtime opportunities for curriculum development and grading state exams because it does pay a pretty penny And who doesn't want to go on vacation with extra money and not touch their salary checks? I do. I know that. The next side hustle that I would like to recommend is coaching. Particularly in New York, we have PSAL, and you can coach basketball, football, soccer, baseball, whatever you're interested in. If you played that sport in high school or you played that sport before and you know a thing or two about it, you definitely want to look into what it takes to be a coach for that sport in your team. Even if your school doesn't have it, PSAL does not make it very difficult to introduce that sport to your school. So I worked in a school that had bowling, they had racquetball, they had handball, they had all these different types of sports. And it's definitely a money like machine. I know the baseball coach at my school, he gets like 200 hours of overtime for the season. Football coaches, basketball coaches, they make a pretty penny during the school year. My mentor teacher makes like an extra $20,000 just for coaching. So definitely look into coaching opportunities for sports in your school district. And the last and final opportunity or side hustle for my teachers, that is going to be focus groups. Now, I like to steer clear of surveys because I think they're a waste of time. I like to steer clear of Airbnbs because I don't like strangers in my house. But focus groups, I'm down for a good focus group. Respondent.io, which I will link below, is where I find all the opportunities. You can make $100, $200 for like 2-3 hours of your time, answering questions, tasting things, doing certain things where they're just trying to gather information for their marketing departments, right? So focus groups are an amazing way to make some money and not spend a lot of your time because, you know, we have to lesson plan and grade and do all that stuff anyway. So any way that I can make money and not give up more of my time is always a dream come true. All right, and that is it. That is all. No rambling, no excess, no nothing. These are the side hustles that I recommend for my educators and for anyone just looking for an extra buck. All right, thanks for watching as always, and bye.